Hey guys, it's Vera Wylde, and I am back once again with Dear Vera, where I answer your questions about cross-dressing. Today's question, this comes from Stacy. My husband and I have very recently started dressing. I am hoping that you could give us a little direction on the biggest problem we're having. We're both straight and have had no luck finding other straight couples that dress. I have had responses that supportive and involved wives are as mythical as unicorns, and I hope that isn't true. We are hoping to find other couples to trade tips and go out for a girls' night. No swapping, straight or bi, just a like-minded couple to hang out with. I saw on the site that you are a straight married cross-dresser and was hoping you would have some resources for me. Well, while it is true that I am straight and I am married to a woman, I don't have a ton of resources for you, largely because I was never really part of the dating scene, and when I was going out in New York, it was mostly solo. Not that my wife wasn't interested and involved, she just wasn't up for being out that late, and these sorts of events tended to, even if they started at 10, they didn't get lively till midnight. So we didn't go out together a great deal, though when we did, it was generally just the two of us. I understand your desire to find another like-minded couple, and it is going to be tricky. Online is probably not going to be a ton of help because, off the top of my head at least, I cannot think of a cross-dresser community online that doesn't at least have a notable sexual bent to it. Even if that's not the main focus of the site, it's almost always there in some capacity, particularly when it comes to people who are interested in meeting, and couples in particular. The only one that I can think of that, at least last time I was on there, which was admittedly a few years ago, that had a decent balance of sexual and non-sexual was a site, You Are Not Alone, the letter U, the letter R, notalone.com. I don't know what it's like these days. As I said, I haven't been on it in some time, but when I was on there in my earlier days, it was a fairly even split between a more sexually oriented stuff and people just looking for support. Now, maybe something to try is to look into local trans support groups, as opposed to more outgoing communities where you're going to find people who are interested in the more sexual side. Now, that said, I'm not automatically going to say that you will find another couple like yourselves at a support group, because honestly, while I wouldn't say unicorn rare, supportive straight wives are quite uncommon, or at least they're very hard to come across. There aren't a ton that put themselves out there. So if you go to a local support group, and if you're dealing with support groups, it's best to go local. You may or may not find other couples like yourselves, but what you will find is an environment built around support as opposed to built around sex. So that might be something to try, and hopefully that will be useful for you. And even if you try looking online for the more support-oriented communities as opposed to the hey, let's meet up communities, because whenever that's a big part of the focus, there's going to be a lot of people whose interest is going to be sexual. And that said, don't completely shut off that notion either. I understand that you're not interested in that, no swapping or anything like that, but you may still find a couple who, even though they have an interest in that, can be respectful of the fact that you don't, and be willing to still go out with you and hang out just as friends, as a girls' night. Don't completely shut down that possibility. Again, be careful and kind of vet any couple that that you're considering meeting up with, but I think it is certainly possible that you could meet a couple who is involved in dressing on a sexual level, but is also willing just to go out and hang out with another couple where the man is a cross-dresser. So best of luck to you both, and I hope you found that helpful. Until next time, guys.